So I want to make this video to pretty much share with you guys my ideas, my thoughts on what an alpha actually is, because the more that I go on the journey, the more I realize what it is and what it isn't. And I had made a video on YouTube about what is an actual alpha, how do you know if you're an alpha, and basically what I had spoken about was that if you could remain grounded, if you could not be pulled by your thoughts or by your emotions, then you were an alpha. It doesn't matter if you were a man or if you were a woman, right? You were an alpha if you were basically capable of going past your emotions and your thoughts. Right, now I want to add a little bit more to this, and that is that as kids, whether you're a man, whether you're a girl, you're alpha, right? And another trait of alpha is pure expression, being able to fully express yourself, right? And as a kid, we fully express everything, but it's more than just saying what we want. It's expressing the energy that is arising inside of us, right? Whenever we feel emotions, this is pretty much energy. Emotion is energy in motion. I mean, something that I heard a long time ago, it just clicked, but it makes sense. When you have an emotion, you feel that shit inside of you, right? And as a kid, you feel this emotion that's coming out, right? And you let it out. You fully express yourself. You'll have a temper tantrum. You'll start crying, right? You will let the emotion take a hold of you and literally completely go right through you. Now, the thing with this is, as we grow up, we are conditioned, we are programmed, we are basically put these ideas in our heads of, okay, this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad, don't do this, don't do that. Right? And then we get to a point where it's like, all right, I can't even fully express myself. I want to cry right now, but there's something blocking that shit from expressing itself. There's something stopping that emotion from being released. Right? The best example I can give to you guys, 2 nights ago, I was with my friends here, my roommates. My roommate brought his girl over, and we all got high. We smoked, and we got ridiculously high. Was in the kitchen, we were making some food, and as I'm cooking, I had put this music on, this Viking music, and for some reason I was just hyped as fuck. Right? I felt all this energy, and for a split second, I didn't want to yell. Like, I wanted to yell. I had so much emotion, so much energy rising up inside of me that I wanted to yell and just express it and release all this energy. But for some reason, my mind had, I guess, placed a limitation, right? Some kind of programming was into play right there at that moment that caused this shit to be stuck right here. And it's as if I wanted to yell, but I couldn't yell. It's as if I wanted to take a shit, but I was constipated and the shit just wouldn't come out, right? So I had to literally work at that shit because I was so aware, because I was high, I was able to be hyper aware of what was actually going on in my body. And then I saw that it was so stuck. So what I did is I started to breathe differently. I changed my breathing pattern. I was like, and just changing my breathing pattern, it might sound crazy. It might sound weird as fuck, but just changing my breathing pattern literally allowed me to break whatever it is that was holding that shit in. And as soon as I broke it, even just a slight little break that allowed the yell to start coming out, as soon as I started yelling, all of that shit just started breaking up completely. And then as soon as I was done yelling, it's like this peace came over my body. Now, I felt this shit before. This ain't the first time that I felt that. But it was the first time that I actually was hyper aware of the block, of the neurotic holding pattern, of the programming that is basically holding that shit down. Right? Now, the reason I'm saying all this is because as kids, we're alpha. We fully express ourselves. Now, in order to hold on to that alphaness, you might see someone in a real life situation and you might say to yourself, okay, this person's alpha. The reason they're alpha is because they've been able to express themselves throughout their entire lives, and they get to a point where they learn to control the emotions and control everything that's rising up inside of them, that they can bypass it. They can literally sit with that shit and be 100% all right. All right, that right there in itself is alpha. That is a true alpha, is when you can sit with your emotions. You can fully express the emotion the way you want to express it. Not the emotion being fully released and then taking full control over you, but the emotion being released and you having full control over the emotion. That right there is an alpha, right? As a kid, you're born alpha because you're already expressing the energy. As you grow up, if you continue to express your energy, you will be able to harness the energy over time. You get experience with this shit. It's like you play a sport, you get better at it. It's the same thing. So these people that you see that are alpha nowadays, whether it be a man or whether it be a woman, it's because they've been expressing themselves ever since they were a kid. And then the kids who are programmed not to express themselves and they follow this programming, what ends up happening is they start to hold down this energy rising up. They try to suppress the energy, to oppress the energy. And what ends up happening is they start having mental issues. They start having physical issues. All these problems start arising because that energy is not meant to be stuck. That energy is not meant to be pushed back down. If it's rising up inside of you, it needs to come out. You need to express that shit, but you need to have full control over that shit. That is what an alpha is. Alright, and there's this quote, it basically says, alpha is what alpha does. You just express yourself. These are very it's very low level type thing, but it's very simple. You can hear it and it's very simple as to the concept of what an alpha is. But y'all are pretty much hearing it firsthand. This is really what an alpha is. Alpha is expression, beta is depression, suppression, oppression, right? Think of alpha being open and then beta being closed. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope the video helped you in one way, shape, or form. Understand that you're already alpha. You don't have to try to be alpha. That's something I'm realizing too. It's a natural thing. If you just express yourself and start breaking all those old patterns that you have, all that old programming, if you could learn to express yourself more, learn to feel these emotions more, and be able to just gain experience with them, right? Be open, learn how to control them, learn how to bypass them to where they don't control you anymore, you will tap into the alpha, your actual alpha, your inner alpha, your true alphaness. Alright, now alpha doesn't act in a certain way, alpha doesn't speak in a certain way, but an alpha will be able to recognize another alpha, because it's the energy that you express. And if you can express that shit and not have it control you, other people will be able to see that shit, and other people will know, deep down, they will know that you are alpha. You don't have to say that you're alpha. You don't have to try to be alpha. You are alpha. All that you have to do is express yourself. So try that shit out. Or better yet, don't try it out. Just do that shit. Right? Because it is what it is. Right? We're not trying to be alpha, we are alpha. All you gotta do is just express yourself. Anytime you feel emotion, let that shit go. I'm rambling on, I'm going on here, but fuck it. Alright? Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and remember that the time is now.